Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode 134. I'm your host, Rage Bally, as always. Joining me this time is the usual crew of DX Takamine on the right, Derek on the bottom left, and Colin Janssen on the bottom right. Hey everybody, sorry
Yo,
we're a little bit
hi.
late this
Hey.
time,
Yeah,
but,
schedule issues, it happens. So.
well, this is something big, because, we had to prepare for this, but why this big? Because I was right.
Boo!
Boo.
Boo! It's your fault.
Your fault, man. Your fault.
Your
How
fault.
many months ago did I predict this?
When you
Quite a bit.
predicted the apocalypse, the X. You know the answer.
All right. So, yes, welcome everybody. So, the big news, of course, this week, why we were a little bit later, is AKS announced this time that there will not be a Sousenkyo this year, and well, basically the fandom exploded to much of the much of member side, much of fan side. And let's open up this discussion. So, what do you guys think? No Sasenkyo this year.
Oh man, when I first heard it, it was more like, Jesus, really? This their biggest cash cow. They must be in quite the turmoil if they cancel that one. So, well, of course you've got the whole with the whole Mahon incident as well. So yeah, AKS itself is in pretty much turmoil, I would say. So, who is in control pretty much? So that's what I wonder at the moment.
First off, I don't think the Sosenkyo cancellation has anything to do with the NGT Mahon situation. I don't think those two things are related at all. This was already planned before this whole situation. And like I predicted, there is no more. My feeling is, because I think I'm in the minor in this situation, I agree there shouldn't be a Sosenkyo. That is, I know the excitement. I know, the style with the votes and the top 16 and the prominent prize that we've seen over the years. But I also think, and I'm looking more at the other side, a realistic version.
Yeah.
It's an outdated system. You can still have competitions like this, like a Sosenkyo style, in a way, but not the way was actually, because the whole voting system, it's it's not because of who they are, the talented,
Hmm.
because of course you have a majority of people who vote for a person. You have the people who say I only buy one CD and vote for that one person. But you see every year those truckloads of CDs voting for this one person because I think this person should, and I cast 10,000 votes on this person, and this person ranks to a point. Well, you have this person here, but her fandom is a lot more people, but they're not as rich as that one person who then buys and buys and buys. So in that system, it doesn't seem fair to how it should be, basically. And the other fact is the mental stress it puts on the
Ah,
members
Yeah, true.
is sickly insane, like bad for their health. There are members who lose sleep over this. They throw, oh, everything's gotta get ranked, go in there. Now with so many members, because when the Sosenkyo started, there weren't that many members compared to what is now. I think in the meantime they tripled their members or
Yeah, something like that.
quadrupled their
Yeah.
members. In the meantime, the Sosenkyo originally started, so it was like a tradition style. But yeah, you
Hmm.
kept growing and growing and growing, and now you only have, okay, only the top 100 can make it. What about the other 180 who are still giving their best of energy every time, every day, trying to get it out there, trying to see their talent, trying to make a voice, but they can't because the fans decide and they're like, well, we haven't seen you on anything, so why should we support you? We don't know you, and those members never have a chance. Then suddenly they're at the event or at a Junken, they get lucky and they're like, oh well, she's actually very talented. Well, yeah, she was for years, but never had the chance to notice her. So it really feels like a popularity contest from the original Senbatsu, and we've been talking this for years. It's like, oh yeah, we already know the top 10 or the top 7. Well, definitely those people. So it didn't feel like an innovative move anymore, and it did more bad than good, I would say. So these are my thoughts on this, but feel free to disagree or give your thoughts on this side.
Well, to be quite honest, when we were watching the Sousenkyo last year, I do remember being more interested in the undergirls and the next girls. To be quite honest, because
I'm perfectly the same. Yeah.
yeah, it was those are the groups that have the most new girls entering pretty much, and we all remember shouting for like the unknown members like an Enjoy Rona and such, who are relatively new, and you actually saw them grow and grow and grow. And that was for me always the fun part for the Sosenkyo, to be quite honest, because I remember a couple of years ago when Yabuki Nako was first ranked in, or Komiyama finally ranked in.
Komi, I remember that. Or Tani, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. And now that this all going away, I don't know. It feels like it leaves an empty void, to be quite honest, with the Soseki gun. It was a bit of tradition, even though with the mental stress, but
Well,
I still have my doubts, to be quite honest.
that's the thing. So you're now looking at it at the fact of the excitement part. You know, the results. It's like, is the hard work going to be rewarded? Is it going to be in there? But everything around it, that's what I'm talking about. That's so outdated. Sure, you can still have a competition in a way to this, but do it like what normal shows do, basically on a voting scheme. You know, like they did with the Kohaku voting system. You saw the totally different side when Sayane won basically that competition because people were only allowed to vote once, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Right,
so too.
like a normal system. I think that if they want to do Sosenkyo, they can do it again, but not with the CD system. But if they don't do it, then they miss out on a lot of money. So they need to find a new system if they want to still make that amount of money, but also have a system that is acceptable in nowadays. Because right now it's very outdated and it really doesn't do good in the long run because you can have a Sosenkyo. Look at last year's Sosenkyo. Okay, finally, Matsuya Junior won. We haven't seen her then ever since. In like the past 6 months after the Sosenkyo, during that system. The number 2 was Suruga Akari. Did she get any more recognition? Not really. The other people, oh, they moved on to other groups, announced graduations, and we moved on to the next single. Like it's nothing. What about all those undergirls? You know, they have potential to come in there. Currently, nothing's changed. It there is no change in Sosenkyo. There's no development. It's a glorified popularity contest. That's not even fair. So they need to change that system. I like the singing competition. That was more talented on based on judging to that fair. Maybe to do something like that, but no, I'm for one glad that the Sosenkyo is not happening this year because it will give so many members a rest. And the other side, I've seen members being upset because they believe, and it's very sad to hear if you really think about it, they believe this was my only shot. This was my only part to actually get recognition or to throw my name out there. And maybe I'll be ranked number 64. And to me that's sad. It's because there's so many talented members in the group. But it feels like it's AKB is too big. That's it. They should cut down, and I think that's happening sooner than later. It's gonna be separate
What
more.
Right. What are some of the members' reactions? Do we know? Because you said like some members kind of took to Twitter or something to talk about this.
Showroom.
Showroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Vivian.
Vivian won on Showroom. She was very upset on this situation, not
Yeah.
crying to a fact, and then very upset that she couldn't show. She believed she was going to get Undergirls this year, and because of all the members leaving, you know, we talked about it. That a lot of top members are leaving. You know, Sashi not being there, Sakura not being there. No, this is all the people becoming the new shot. Basically, they're saying, "Oh, there are a few shots open in the top 16, so I can be in the Senbatsu," and it really feels like it's not. It's not a good system anymore. I believe that you can do this better and make a AKB48 Sousenkyo. SKE48. Sousenkyo.
Well, I definitely got a lot to say about that, but Colin, why don't you go ahead and give your opinion first, because I have a lot to say, so I'm very curious what you have to say.
I will add on something that DX said. He said about, basically the top 16 is not the one that's important. I feel the very same way. I feel the same way about Junkin. I don't care about the top, who gets the single. I just care for seeing everyone in cosplay. And then the last hour when they do the top 16, when everyone has been eliminated, that's the part where I drop out. Where it's like I don't find it interesting anymore, and I have the same feeling with that on the Sousenkyo as well. At the top 16, it is true in a way what Robin says, that it is a glorified popularity contest, and which was not how it started. That is how it became, and it's only because AKB grew to accommodate for SKE and MB. Well, SKE was, I believe, already there. So you know what? Just forget SKE for a moment. NMB, HKT, and so on. Those groups more so. So that it got out of hand. I do agree with that. And it is kind of true that it is a glorified popularity contest. But that's what I earlier said about not being that interested in the top 16, because who is gonna rank a lot from the top 16. I would argue 12 at least, 13 probably. So I think there I agree, and you can hate me for this, but what Robin said about their emotional and mental state, I have a solution to that. Don't participate. That's how I genuinely feel. If you want to avoid that, don't participate, because that is what you get with it. So I would say, well, if you don't want to have that, don't participate. I'd be fine with that. Of course, there are a lot of people that may not be, but I would not mind. If they don't want to, I respect that. I respect their choices, what they do, unless I think it is a stupid decision. But mostly that doesn't happen, because I always try to understand their feelings and why they choose a certain thing to do. So if they would choose not to participate with Sousenkyo, I don't think that's a stupid decision. I would totally be in it. I would be like, okay, I still love you as much as I did before. I don't mind if you won't do the Sousenkyo. Think of Moriyasu Madoka last year, or even Kotorara last year. They had two different reasons. One of them was for university, which I totally get. It's fine. That's great. That's good. And Moriyasu Madoka, I can't remember her exact reasoning, but I respected it. I totally respected it, and that's fine. Like with Kashiwaki Yuki does as well. It's like, okay, I still love those girls, and they can choose to participate or not. But of course, other people may not feel the same way about that.
Yeah.
And I also agree that it is true that it is the only thing that a majority of the members can look forward to, so they can do something. That I do agree with that, because AKB doesn't do anything else to really promote those girls. Not anymore. They used to, but not really anymore. And if I take something from last year as example, something that I love getting out of it, well, two things, okay, was Tomodachi Janaika, Taniguchi Megu's song. I love Megu. I absolutely love Megu. She's my second Oshi, and I absolutely love that song. So that made me really happy to see her get a center song. And of course, the other thing was watching it with you all. Not to forget, that's also very important. But that's pretty much what you would get out of it, because, like Robin said, Jirina leaving out, that wasn't fun. That was we all saw what happened to her, which is, it's not fun to watch. But I would say one thing with that. I think that we all have experienced something like that one way or another. I know I have, so I totally get why that happened to her. And depending on her situation and everything, everyone experiences that differently. The only thing that I would have to say, when I heard this news last week, I actually have almost lost interest in AKB. I just was like, I why? There's nothing to look forward to. This may be a long explanation, but I keep it short. Interests, we all have them. I refer to my interests as fires. They're like fire in the fireplace. I need to, keep this fire going. Put, logs, charcoal, whatever, keep it going. But if I ain't got none, fire gets smaller. That's what I have right now. Because in the past week, I have done very little with AKB or even the 48 group because I just lost interest like that. There are other people that have, had a gradual decline in interest because of other reasons. But when I heard that, I was like, yeah. And you know what happened now? I have finished 2 shows, almost done with another one. I am marathoning something that I wanted to marathon for a very long time. I feel that I have more time now because, well, AKB is not doing anything in the future. Not that I can look forward to. Which I don't like saying. But just the same as you can say about Sousenkyo, there are good things, there are bad things. In the end, there are also truths.
I do agree they need to fill it up with something, like a big concert, like the one I had idea, like a mega concert or something, like an event.
I would only say if it's live, because
Yeah.
otherwise I don't. I mean, there is this concert coming up next month, which is fine. A bit. I have a bit of reservations to it, but if it's shown live, I would really like that. But if it's not, then I don't
No
care.
interest,
Same as the red and white
Yeah.
Kohaku from AKB itself. I can't watch it live, so I'm not really.
I want
we can release a model press.
address your point on if you can't handle the mental stress, don't participate. For a lot of members, it's impossible not to participate.
That's you know what? I have one argument to it, and I will leave it at that. That's a choice.
Yeah, it ends up being a choice, but you gotta remember, most of these girls are still underage. They still haven't experienced. They've gone from school. They've been trained basically with the mindset, oh, you gotta be in entertainment, and you gotta find every star. You're gonna grab that brass ring every chance you can take.
And like I said, that's a choice.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you said.
I know what you are gonna do, but I can't just say the same.
No. But it's different for you learn that the more of choice on a certain age, but the younger you are, the less experience you have, and for a lot of them, they don't have that switch. Be like, what is the sane amount of making that choice? They have to follow. Well, we're in the group. Yes, we'll follow. Yes, we'll go into Sousenkyo. Just look at the registration system. For example, with STU48, all of them of STU48 signed on the same day when you can apply for the Sousenkyo. You don't have a choice like, okay, I can do in there, I can do in there. No. We all have to go as a unit, as a group. We have to represent STU. And it's like,
that's good.
It's a choice. But is it really their own choice, or they're like, if I don't, then I'll be resented, then I won't be liked, then I won't get a future, I won't get a chance, and then I have to leave the group. That's the mindset probably going to this.
And that's peer pressure, which is not great either.
No, so it's like the opposite side. You have members who are not participating, and my biggest one is Murayama Yuri. If she participated, she would be ranked very high. But she's like, nope, don't need it. I'll find something else, and she did. She's one of those rare subjects, basically. It's a success that showcasing herself, becoming successful in the theater, showcasing her more, becoming then in the Senbatsu. So it is doable. Over the years, though, last year was a good example. Like, a lot of people are like, I'm not participating this year. It's like, but it's the Sousenkyo. It's like, nah. You have a lot of mindset in there, and I think that also has an influence. Because a lot of members are saying, I don't like the Sousenkyo. And if you get the majority in there, and you have also the people who don't like Sousenkyo but are signing up anyway, maybe management was listening to this, and maybe you're like, okay, and this is maybe current also with the NGT48 situation. They're like, we need to focus more on the well-being of the girls, and they're thinking like, well, this is not helping, and we need to save more the well-being, because you can do a quick cash cow like the Sousenkyo, but in the long run, it's not doing anything good. And I think currently it's still going down with AKB48, and I really believe they're resetting. they're canceling shows, they're ending shows. They are seeing all the changes. We have more topics on the change coming up, basically in April. Um, this is a big step, and I personally still feel this is a step in the right direction. They need to replace it though. Not saying that your biggest event you should do it with something to still keep the interest, because like you said, Colin, the fire's dimming out. It's really just like this starter flame being in there, and currently for me there's also like nothing. I'm focusing more on AKB48 because they're keeping me interested. Like with their new single, Kayaki House, we could talk about that later as well. The interest is going away, and that's not
It's
great.
moving to something else.
Hmm.
We can also,
But
say it like that.
I would like to hear from Derek right now because he said he has a lot to say on this situation. So you heard us talk for 20 minutes. Derek, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, all great thoughts, really. Very interesting what everybody has to say. And, of course, I have maybe three things to think about. One, really quick. Boy, what do you guys think is going to happen to the Junkin now? It's probably going to get canceled too, I imagine. So
Like I
Most
said,
likely.
that's a little disappointing. Yeah, but then again, considering the past couple years,
Yeah.
I think, okay, two big points. One is that when you think about Idol and you think about it from a Japanese or Asian perspective, and again, I'm Western and there's still a lot of Westernness in me, but I do live in Japan and I do see every single day with what I do for work, maybe a more Japanese perspective on Idol. Idol's about two things: community and your Oshi. That's it. And you get rewarded for being part of both. And what I mean by that is, when you take something like this Sousenkyo, which is a community idea, it brings all these wodas together.
Yeah.
It brings us all under one banner, one roof to celebrate this group. And you
In
just
one
get rid
room.
of it in one room, no less. You get rid of it. You eliminate a gigantic gathering event for all of your woda. Just on a very base level, that is like a bomb being dropped in the middle of a crowded city. You can't do that. And so that is a gigantic mistake because you are now essentially scattering a large majority of your fan base to their own devices, and particularly the international fan base. The other thing is, though, too, I think AKB fires dimming and all. Again, this is all very Western perspective thinking. I still can't get into an AKB show here. Every show sells out. There's never a show that isn't sold out. So there's still a million sales going strong for releases. I mean, there's still plenty of wodas out there that will be happy to spend lots of money and buy whatever AKB is shoveling out there, whether it's crap or whether it's good. They'll do it because of the second thing, your devotion to your Oshi. Now, again, let me paint a little picture for you guys. I went to Osaka this weekend, which is also one of the reasons why this is late. I'm sorry, everybody, but everybody here at 48 Talk was nice enough to accommodate for that, and I appreciate that immensely. But I was in Osaka for Necrodome Idols. We had a couple shows there, including a really big show at Shinsaibashi Sun Hall in Namba, and one of the things I saw there that I wasn't quite prepared for in a year now of working with Necroma is we had that show at Shinsaibashi, and at the end, we were pretty much at the end, not because we were headlining or anything, just because of the way our schedule was. We had to go to Osaka all night the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Taking an overnight bus is not fun, by the way. And so the promoters were good enough. They were kind enough to put us at the very end, which was really sweet. But as a consequence of that, we were allowed to do checkies for as long as we wanted. They're like, go ahead, take as long as you want. We're like, okay. I think me and Ricky, we ended up doing checkies for over 2 hours. We did probably 160 checkies, maybe 150, somewhere in that neighborhood. I even did them at one point. I was even running all 5 girls, which I've never done because it was that crazy. It was just insane. And then the next day we played at Namba Melee, which is this really tiny club. You could maybe fit 100 people there, maybe. And it was packed. I mean, it was completely packed. It was a 3-man live with this group, No Surprises, from like the Osaka area, and another group. And again, at night, we did 100+ checkies. It was insane. And we even got an encore call, which is extremely rare for Necroma to do encore. Extremely. And why am I bringing all this up? I saw a level of devotion of Oshi power like I've never seen in Necromo fans. I mean, don't get me wrong, our fans are pretty loyal, but because they had 2 hours at Shinsaibashi, because they had an endless amount of time at Namba Melee, I saw fans looping and looping and looping and looping and looping. I'm talking one fan probably had to have spent over $200 just doing checkies. Our checkies are $5, by the way. So when I say $200, add that up. I mean, it was insane. It was insane. That's a Chica level, okay? That's we're at the nobody cares level. Put it up to AKB level, where you have the chance to really show your Oshi. I'm giving it my all. I'm gonna sell my house. I'm going to sell my car. I'm going to get rid of my manga collection, my anime collection, all for you. Now, to the Westerners like us, oh my God, that's so crazy. To the otaku, to the Japanese person, cool. I mean, now granted, a lot of them are still like us. We're like, no, you're ridiculous. But it's going straight to the core of Idol. What are these girls? They're kami. What is kami? They're gods. What do you do to gods? You worship them. What do you give to gods as a sign of respect? Sacrifice. So the more you sacrifice, the more you are in favor with your Oshi. Or so the logic goes. Now, that doesn't mean it's always the case. But I mean, I've seen like Himari, which by the way, it's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Himari.
Happy birthday.
Yep. Like I've seen this girl. I mean, piles of gifts. It's not even her birthday. Just any regular day, piles of gifts. Just the people that love her, they get tattoos. I mean, somebody just got a tattoo on their wrist of a sign she uses on Twitter when she says good morning. They got that tattooed on them. Okay, I've seen guys with their whole names tattooed, her face. Okay, your Oshi is your Oshi. And when you have something like Sousenkyo, like Sashi's Oshi, for example, where this guy, like major rich dude, could put $1 million into showing your love, that's a beautiful thing. Like, again, to Westerners, it's crazy. To the Japanese idol otaku loving person, that is awesome. So you take that away, hey, that business wise, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, AKB should eat that up. That's a cash cow. And two, you're getting rid of a single. You're getting rid of all the coupling songs that go along with it, where we've had a chance to see all these undergirls, all the girls we actually root for. Gone. You have nothing to look forward to. Your whole community is gone. Your ability to show your Oshi love is gone. So now, what do? Nothing. So that right there, just watching the amount of devotion I saw this weekend, and then comparing that to AKB Sousenkyo got me really thinking, this is the dumbest idea AKB48's group, AKS management, has ever had their entire life. In fact, it is the worst idea. It is the death knell for AKB. AKB's, you said that the flames dim, it's going out. Because now it's going to go to where I think it's going to go, which they're going to get rid of everything, and they're just going to go back to the theater stuff because they can sell that. That's very easy. I mean, think about it. All the cafes have been closing. All the TV shows are gone. Mm-hmm. Now we have the Sousenkyo, the biggest event in the entire calendar year of AKB, gone. Junkin's next. They don't do stadium shows anymore unless somebody big graduates, and even then, it's like they're trimming down. They have all these hundreds of girls. They're not going to do anything for them. It's only a matter of time for those girls are like, peace, and they go somewhere else. They come to my world because they can be glorified superstars there, and they don't even have to sing or dance well because in Chica, there's a lot that don't, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter because, again, it's all about your Oshi. It's all about loving a girl, about respecting her, about showing her that you really care about her. And in AKB, you were able to do that on a glorified scale to the Sousenkyo. That's how it started out. It started out as a way to show your Oshi your love. That's the whole point of what the Sousenkyo was. That's how it came about. Now, yeah, granted, it's so big now, but now also think about this. All the international fans that were really aiming for getting BNK, I mean, come on, this year, BNK would have crushed it.
BNK and
sorry, guys.
Probably, yeah.
Peace. All the Korean fans that might have wanted to jump in on this and be like, yeah, man, we're going to put Chita Mew way the heck up there. Nope, see ya, peace. MNL, well, that's a whole other story, but even them, it's like you just basically gave all of them the middle finger. You basically gave your entire international community, including us Westerners, you gave them a bag of middle fingers. That's how many middle fingers you gave them. And basically, You're taking something that anchored us all together. Never mind the fun we've all had watching for years.
I remember.
Years I've had fun. Gone. See ya. So this is the death knell. And on top of that, I think it is the biggest tragic mistake financially for them. I mean, like it's just dumb. As far as changing it and tweaking it, yes, Robin, I actually do agree with you. There's definitely changes that could be made. Definitely. I don't agree with the one vote per person. I think it's awesome that if you're an Ocean, you got money and you can show your girls something. That's great. Remember with me and Tani, I really thought about buying 20 more CDs the day the ranking 2 years ago. She was what 15 CDs away from being next. She would have been the freaking center of her group. I almost did it. I was this close. And I can't help but think, had I done that, I might have been actually responsible for putting my favorite girl in the entire AKB history I've ever loved deeply into a position she's always wanted. I did it. So this really gives us a chance to have that connection and to do something. Never mind all the handshake tickets. I mean, this is an amazing thing. Like it's like you're basically taking something that worked. And why? Because what? Stress? Come on. I'm with Colin on that. You don't like it, get out of the fire. Sorry. Like I don't care if it's a group thing or not. Like if all Stu wants to go together, that's just Japanese like wa thinking. Like everybody goes together. Big deal. Like if you can't handle it, don't do it. And if it's stressful, good. That's good. I'm glad it's stressful. That means you care about it. That means you actually give a crap about what you're doing. And that's not a bad thing.
Yep.
That's not a bad thing at all. And if like with Jarina, what happened with her, I don't think that even has anything to do with what happened to Sousenkyo. To be honest, we have no idea what happened with her. For all we know, she could have been blackmailed on the side by somebody and told her, you got to be out until you give me money. We don't know. And trust me when I tell you, what you see in the front of Idol is not what you see in the back. I can tell 100% from experience, just working with the Chica girls that I work with, not Nkrumah necessarily, but everybody else. There's the face you see and the face you don't. And there are reasons that you hear that are total lies. I mean, just flat out lies as to what's really going on. And that's on Chica level. I'm sure it's 10 times even more on the AKB level. So whatever happened to Trina, I don't think it's the same. I think they want to blame the Sousenkyo because that's an easy thing to blame, too much stress and all. But in all reality, we have no idea what happened with her. And I think what it comes down to is this. Something is foul in AKS. Something is not right. I actually do disagree about the Mahone situation. I think that did have something to do with it. I think that totally. I mean, because Friday they're going to release this big like 9/11 star report about what happened to basically try to cover this up. Why do you think that's coming a week after they announced the Sousenkyo is disbanding? Huh? You think that's just random timing? Come on. Like they're basically trying to recover from one of the biggest corruption scandals AKS has ever had, because they got called out on an international level for being not appropriate with how they handled Mahone's situation, and rightfully so. So I think that did have something to do with it.
Yep.
I also think because they don't want the stress. They don't want all that pressure. You got the Olympics coming up for crying out loud, which who knows AKB's even gonna be part of it. It's like they want it to be a clean road maybe to 2020. They want it to be less in the spotlight now. So why don't you get rid of the biggest focus of spotlight that you have on your entire group? And guess what? Then you can quietly sneak away into the dark and maybe gradually get siphon off members or let them leave on their own, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's just like, it makes total sense to me that, if I'm trying to get out of the spotlight, if I'm trying to do something that's going to help our image better, I'm going to get rid of the one thing that puts all the spotlight on us. I'm going to get rid of the Sousenkyo, because otherwise, business-wise, it's a terrible decision. You're getting rid of millions and millions of dollars. Your biggest CD sale of the year, if I'm not mistaken, usually, or around there.
Usually, yeah.
You're getting rid of that. That's like Walmart saying, you know what, we're not going to have a Black Friday sale for Thanksgiving. Sorry guys, we're just going to skip that day. Come on. So there's a lot more going on here, but I'd say at the end of the day, it's the worst decision I've ever in the entire fandom. I've ever been part of. I think it's a tragic mistake. I think AKB will not recover from this. I think in a year or 2 years, especially after Olympics, AKB will go back to just being the sold out, donkey theater thing. Maybe the other cities will have it. I don't know. But I think I think if anything, maybe because SK is now represented by a different management company, NB has been that way for a while. Maybe we'll see them go different directions. Like you guys are saying, maybe they'll do their own thing. I could see that. But I think AKB itself is going to dwindle down because it's like they can't fill Tokyo Dome apparently anymore. They're getting rid of the Sousenkyo. The Junkin's been garbage for the past 2 years. Your biggest, most iconic member since Maeda is gone as of this year. Sashi's out.
Yeah.
And, everybody's left. You don't have any star power, really. It's like, Sakuratan just said, peace. She turned out to be the smartest of them all. She went to a whole other country, and now look at her. She's like a freaking superstar. Like, you can tell when your big people are leaving, and then you get rid of the biggest event that brings us all together as a community. And community is it's what makes Idol work. Your community. If you don't have a community, if you don't have a grouping of a community, you don't have an Idol group. And that's why I just really, really, really think, I don't know, it's the worst thing that's ever happened in AKB. I think next to what happened to Kawhi Arena and Anden, next to what happened to Mita Mahone, it's right up there. In fact, I'd almost call this a scandal because I think there's a bigger reason we're not seeing why this actually happened. Why, as a business, would you get rid of your biggest cash cow? There has to be a very nefarious reason or something. And I don't want to be all conspiracy theory, but just this is wrong. On every level, this is wrong, and I reject it completely with all that I am as an AKB fan. And like Colin said, my interest, down the tubes. I almost am just like, no, I'm not going to give up, but I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm with them till the boat completely sinks, and
There you
the
have it,
boat may or may not come pick us up.
There you said it. That one point moments. Thank you for
Please.
the explanation on that. I have a few counter on it, but you said it at the end. My interest is low, but I'm not gonna give up. That mindset.
I'll never give up.
There it is. That mindset is on every fan, every hardcore fan, every fan on the Sousenkyo that buys these CDs, truckloads in there. They now still have that money, and that money was meant for the Sousenkyo, but now there's no Senkyo. What am I gonna do with this AKB money or this Oshi money? Tickets, merch, concerts, theater,
Do it.
more tickets, more handshake. The money is not going anywhere. We're not gonna see it in this one place, but the fan will still spend this money every dime it has on the way. Personally, you just said it as well as Western thought, but I still feel that is also outdated. You're treating it like a commie style. It's unhealthy. It's not doing well for the country and its whole. Maybe that's even the bigger skill on this. Maybe it's like we have this system and it's basically destroying the country if we're going on this side. Maybe it's like we need to find a way to stabilize this because in the work area, maybe economy-wise, we can go even further to this point. But in the end, the mindset of the fan will not change. They will spend money regardless of an event. You don't need to worry about that. So, you just said, I can still not get any tickets for a theater. It's always sold out. Everything's sold out. Can't anything there. So the money is still coming in. It's basically the idea that it's going at one event at one place is maybe gone. It's gonna still be spread out.
Yeah.
It's still going over there. Let me just go into this because
Sure.
you said this is the biggest thing, biggest head. Still, they're currently not the biggest group. The biggest group out there is Nogizaka 46. They don't have a Sousenkyo. They never had a Sousenkyo. They never had this style. Yet sales are going up, up. You know, they still have all these events. They still are growing. They're stabilized. They are in it for the long run. And what Sousenkyo was a quick cash cow money system. And that is the outdated system I'm talking about. Because if you treat the product right, it doesn't matter what event you have or going over there. The product will bring the money. And that goes for other things as well. Like I have this discussion also on the like wrestling situations. You know, the WWE is the biggest one in there, and but their products is very bad. Still, they're doing great. Why? Because they have the network. They don't care about pay-per-view numbers anymore. They don't care about selling out on this way. They have this stabilized programming that the wrestling fan, the hardcore fan, is always gonna pay. There's always a way for that. If you're a fan and you want something, you always stay in it. Because, like you said, Derek, again, you're never going to give up. And it's in this situation as well. I just like the fact that there's a change coming. Because, to me, the Sousenkyo system was all outdated. The money-wise, looked gorgeously. But in the end, the money will come anyway to other locations. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay, I think maybe I should clarify though. I'm kind of an exception though to the whole fan thing. Again, it goes to Oshi. All right, I don't have particularly an Oshi. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like I like Tani, but if Tani leaves, I like AKB overall. But that's not the whole of what most fans are like here in Japan, especially in Japan. Your Oshi is everything. Okay, if your Oshi happens to be in AKB, then that's the group you're gonna follow. So follow me out. Your Oshi is an undergirl. Your Oshi is Oya Shizuka. Okay, and you've been waiting years and years and years for her to get ranked. Finally, she ranks. Finally, she's in. Yeah, she may not get anything out of it really, but she ranked, and you put all your heart and soul into it. You bought a ton of CDs for her. Now, no Sousenkyo. Next thing you know, Oya has nothing to look for. She graduates. Guess who's out of the AKB fandom? This guy. Okay, because most fans, and I think I can generalize and not be wrong in saying this, they don't got a second or third or fourth Oshi. That's a Western thing. Okay, us Westerners love to have like a ranking. Most Japanese people, at least the ones that like I'm seeing here, only. Healthy or not, that's idle. Okay, so when your Oshi's gone, you're gone. Okay, if your Oshi joins another group, guess who you're going? You're going to that other group. That happens all the time here in Chika. It definitely happens on the AKB level. And so when you take the Sousenkyo, which is for many of these girls, that was something to look forward to. That starts playing the seed in their head now. Oh, there's nothing to look forward to. I'm out. They're going to be out in a month, in 2 months. You're going to be out. Therefore, you lose all those fans. Therefore, you lose all that money. Therefore, you lose all that business. Again, business-wise, this is the worst decision in the world. Change. Hey, if they replace it with something else and something that makes more sense somehow, I'm all for it, sure. But they need to have something that brings us together as a community. Now, if it isn't Sousenkyo, fine. They need something. But
so,
I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. I wanted to.
What's the difference with what you just said with Sousenkyo votes and handshake tickets?
The difference is very simple. If you look at what the handshake tickets are, okay, that's just basically you getting a chance to meet your Oshi however many times you want. When you go to the handshake events, I don't want to say sold out, but they're a madhouse. I've been to several. You can't even move. Okay, it's a bloodbath. Like who wants to stand in line necessarily for 2 hours just to meet Sashi? Which people do. I mean, don't let me finish. If that's your Oshi, you'll do it. But if you're going there as a casual fan, you want to meet a bunch of people, that's cool. But I also know guys that will literally buy boxes and box CDs just to meet one member, and they'll just keep looping. Or if they can use all the CDs at once, they will. That's fine. For the Sousenkyo, this is a chance for status. This is a chance for your girl to maybe get some media exposure or just get their name out there to be something else. It was a ranking that meant something, and it still does, in my opinion, especially for the undergirls, especially how many times have the coupling songs blown us away versus the actual main song, or they've been the song we've been like, whoa. So who makes up those songs? All these girls that got ranked in because their Oshi, like their fans got them there. So think about that. They were part of something creatively awesome. That's something you can put on your resume. That's something you can be proud of. Now they don't got that. Nothing. So that's a totally different thing than just getting a lot of handshake tickets. On the other hand, when you brought up Nogi, the thing with Nogi is they're appealing, I think, in the same sense to fans that have a lot of money or like maybe want to show their love, But Nogi was just sort of like the counter to AKB. I don't necessarily think they needed a Sousenkyo, but in terms of stability, I think you might want to check that. They just lost Nishino Nanase. They've lost a bunch of members recently.
True.
They're not gonna be playing the Tokyo Dome anytime soon. And on top of that, like they just did it. Okay, I'm not saying they're not like on top of the world. I'm saying they're about peaking at this point, and that's not a bad thing. And you know, K is the same thing, but they don't operate in the same mindset. They just don't, because it's like, yes, they have fans that love their Oshis. Yes, those people, they'll leave when their Oshi leaves. That's not a big deal. But for me, when I looked at the Sousenkyo, the thing that made AKB's crowd different than Nogi's crowd goes back to what I said, community. Nogi doesn't have a community, really. I mean, they don't have a gathering place for fans like the Sousenkyo gave them.
What?
I mean, they do, but they don't. I mean, do they? What do they have?
They have handshake events as well as another combination.
I'm not talking
to
about
that.
handshake events. That's not even a gathering thing. That's you're going to meet your Oshi. I'm talking about with the Sousenkyo.
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
like
whoa,
you're
whoa,
there.
whoa.
It's a
Whoa, 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 whoa. So, you're not considering a handshake event a gathering? Okay.
Sorry.
So-
Bad choice of words. Bad choice of words. Semantics. Let's not get into it.
A
What I'm saying is
concert,
that-
a concert is not a gathering to events. Like I've seen this. Okay, I'm not the one who goes to concerts like regularly, but when I was there, the one time I was there, or basically the two times, because I went to a concert I couldn't go in, a concert I could go in. What did I see? I see so many fans interacting with each other. You know, going with a trade-off, going to their folders, sharing. That's community. That's the style in there. So not
Like I
saying
said, bad choice of words,
yeah.
and I retract that statement because I didn't quite put it out the way I wanted to. So
All
you don't
right.
even have to go into it.
All right.
What I'm saying is that the Sousenkyo was something special. It was something that
I agree.
AKB and AKB alone had, and I think it was a different kind of community gathering. We'll just put it that way. And I think if nothing else, it was a real chance for you to show your Oshi power.
Okay.
You know, when you go to a concert, you can cheer, you can have 5 light blades on 10 of your fingers, you can wear the towel, you can do everything, you can wear, you know, the whatchamacallit, the jacket for your Oshi. You can do all that, and that's great, and you can show your love and you can scream till your voice gives out, but that's it. When you go to Sousenkyo, if you got money, you can show your girl exactly how much you care about her. You can just bam, you can throw down as many C's as you can. It was another way to show your love for your Oshi, okay? And that's why I thought it was very special.
It's
Because
another
that's what
way,
Idol is.
but there was already a way to show it. What you just said. So let's go retract this a little bit. I still didn't hear the fact that Sousenkyo is the reason for their popularity. Because, like you said, if this Oya Shizuka fan, the hardcore fan, was like, yeah, the vote down there, yes, she made it into number 100. Of course, we celebrated when it happens. That was cool. That was awesome. What did it do for her? Anything special? Anything out of the ordinary? The thing is, wait, Colin. I'll go to you after this. The thing is, though, that same money could have gone into handshake events. And you just said, well, you don't want to stand in line, but that goes contrary to your other statement, since it's your kami, your Oshi, you know, your god. You do anything for it. So, not standing in line is another thing. And going to your face, the casual fan doesn't want to stand in line. The casual fan is not going to buy mountains of CDs for a vote. They're going to buy 2 CDs maybe for a vote. Or something like that. So, the casual fan is not even a fact in the matter in the money system. So, I do agree with one thing. There should be a system where you can still support your Oshi in a matter just saying like that, but not in the Sousenkyo way, because that money is still going to the handshake events. The hardcore fan will still go over there. You can just throw anything over there, and it will still buy it. Trust me, where I work, they announced 3 new things, and the newest thing everybody's going crazy about.
Right.
It's not that exciting, to be honest, but they're going crazy about it.
New.
Yeah, it's
Well, I
not.
think you just said it.
And now it's a
It's
wireless
Sousenkyo-
charger.
Right, but you just said it. And I think that's the key right there. The Sousenkyo was exciting. It was fun. It was something to be part of. It was this big event as a
Was.
community focused thing.
It was like
the handshake
Christmas.
event. Yeah, the handshake event. You know, again, I go back to what I said. they're madhouses. You can't dump necessarily more money. I guess you could have more handshake events, sure, but that makes sense. Okay, so that's an option. But to take all that Sousenkyo money and put it into something, or they can come up with something else entirely. And like you said, the fans are gonna, if they have a chance to show their love for Noshi, they'll buy into it. I don't disagree there. I think that's certainly what I would be thinking of next if I was AKS at this point. But I just don't see the point in getting rid of your biggest cash cow unless there's other reasons that factored into it. Just on a purely business level, it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. On an Oshi level, on an idol level, it makes no sense to get rid of this big community centric thing and just eliminate it. And then on top of that, you're getting rid of all the hopes and dreams of a lot of these girls that they looked forward to the Sousenkyo, that they didn't mind the stress, that they were looking forward to. They rallied their fans around. It gave you something. You went to those handshake events to talk to your Oshi about, to be like, oh, I'm going to vote for you, man. It's going to be awesome. Look, here's what I'm doing. And you got rewarded by, oh, thank you so much. And it's that interaction. It's this whole organism that was just stabbed to death by this announcement. And I just think it's the most terrible idea I've ever heard, ever. And I think it's really wrong of them to do it. And on top of that, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to this. We've all been surprised by the Sousenkyo. I don't think any of us could have predicted Ogi was gonna beat everybody in the prelims. Okay, we've had moments of craziness. Akron, for crying out loud, she came out of nowhere. The winner, Tani, ranking the highest I think anybody's ever ranked the year that she ranked out for a first timer in the 20s. I don't think anybody ever had that kind of a massive, thank you world. Usually they enter low and they start going up. She pounded right in. So it's like we've had these great moments in Sousenkyo. Great moments, wonderful memories, things that I cherish and I'll take with me forever. Gone, no more. Bye.
Oh,
See ya.
whoa, no.
That's
Like those memories will always stay in there.
I'm talking about new memories.
No,
Gone.
no.
They're not there.
You still don't know what's
Gone.
going to happen. Maybe something new will come in there. And
Maybe
you're like,
something, but there hasn't been
I
anything
guarantee you, with the
it
Sousenkyo,
will happen.
there would be a
I hope.
treasure trove of memories that I would get out of that, because every year that's exactly what's happened. Now I know that treasure trove is not waiting for me in June.
All right.
That sucks.
All right. Colin, you had something to say, and DX,
All right,
you've been
Colin.
quiet. I want to hear you.
Yeah, no, it's for me like I'm going to from the fan perspective, not necessarily members perspective, but
Sure.
for me the Sousenkyo was always, even last year when we had the big viewing in AnimeCon, I'm still not sure how I'm going to actually able to handle that, because it was, even if it was small, it was a community thing, and it's one of the biggest events for us fans as well. So it's more like we work together to get our favorite member ranked, and all the
Cry
preparations
together,
now
laugh
is
together.
it's also basically crying together, laughing together, celebrating together, and at the end just partying together pretty much. And yeah, I have a feeling it's gone, and I'm still not sure how AKS is going to replace it, to be quite honest. So yeah.
Mhm.
I would add
Really?
that with the day of the Sousenkyo is basically Christmas. You want you want to open the presents whatever day you do it. Just the moment of opening your presents. It's kind of like that. It's now gone. There are no presents. There's nothing to look forward to. And as someone who loves Christmas, I don't necessarily care as much for the presents, but it's like a tradition. And with SKE, it's SKE SSK, the election. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay. Final thing on this point, and then we gotta move on.
Oh, actually, that was not what I wanted to say. From
Then go,
what you
Colin.
said about
Do it now.
Oh, yeah, she got center for No Way Man coupling single Ikino Mizu. That's what she got because she ranked 100.
Cool.
That was something she got.
Anyway, who said they're not doing the Sousenkyo ever again? That was
They
never
said they're
announced.
not doing it this year, but they're also
Exactly.
They were doing it next year.
Well, next year is 2020, so probably they'll take a break. But
Maybe.
then 2021, I'll make this prediction right now, right here. It's March. It's almost. No, it's March 21st now. March 21st, 2019. I'm gonna predict that the Sousenkyo will return in 2021.
21.
Let's
That's
make it.
2 years from now.
Yes, because
I
the
hope it
Olympics.
does.
Okay,
That's long.
Well, let's then look at this perspective. How about this idea then for Sousenkyo?
Oh, I know where.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Shadows.
Oh,
The
shadow.
shadows.
Okay.
Oh,
Colin, that was funny.
This is clearly not the right way to go, in my opinion.
Nope.
Because MNL48 announced they'll have a Sousenkyo, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the members who don't rank will be forced to graduate of the
AKA
group.
fired. Yeah, they're
Yep,
fired. Yeah,
yep,
pretty much.
Yep.
Just say it how it is. They're fired.
Okay, that's not a Sousenkyo. That's basically Produce 48. That's
Yeah.
any idol American
Yep.
Western show. It's like you can vote now or
Bye.
going to the
Yep.
next round.
Yep, pretty much. They tarnished the Sousenkyo name pretty much.
No, yeah, it's not a Sousenkyo. They call it a Sousenkyo. It's not a Sousenkyo.
It's not a general election.
It's an elimination round.
Yep. It's an elimination tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a round. It's like, all right, this is like, are we gonna get kicked off the island? That's how the feeling is. It's dumb. It's not how you're supposed to do the name. That's not how it's supposed to work. Again, no clue about MNL48. I try to have interest. Oh, their new song came out. It's like right now we just talked about AKB48 is losing the interest. Yeah, the flame is a little gone. The flame hasn't even started yet at MNL48. I'm just like thinking,
You said you had no clue about MNL48. If Batman, Sherlock Holmes, and the guy from Blue's Clues got together, they couldn't even find it.
You know what the feeling is with MNL48? It's that one Christmas present you got from this guy you never know, and then it's like, and in the middle of June, it's still standing in the corner. It's like, oh yeah, I should open that.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Well, that's mean for you not to open your presents, but okay. No.
It's like it's still over there. It's nicely wrapped, but you know, like yeah, I know it's gonna suck what's inside there. It's like the wrapping looks
that's
nice.
Oh man.
Okay, wait. Okay, so let me just preface and say that we love you Filipinos, we love you Philippines. We're not trying to rag on your group, but really, what the HE double hockey sticks is going on with them? Like, it's okay. You're taking the whole point of Japanese idol concept and you're trying to Westernize it too much. Don't get me wrong, a little bit of Westernization. It kind of, go to Produce 48 if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, it works there. Okay,
K-pop.
it works. K-pop. Basically, you can get away with it if you do the K-pop stuff because K-pop is basically a Western version of Japanese Idol.
How's Blackpink sales going, by the way?
Still not sold out. I think.
Thank you. My point. My point exactly. But the thing is, it's like with Manila, it's like I don't think they get it. I just don't think they get it. I think whoever's running that needs to go to Japan. They need to spend about 2 years here, really going to every idol show they can, really listening to like all the classic idol stuff, and then maybe they might get it. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No. That was the same person that already made a festival. You know, inviting all these Japanese bands to MNL48. What? Okay, wait.
Yeah.
What's headlining? It's like okay. So what
Right.
do you have to do with no? You're Japanese, but okay, you don't fit here, but sure.
Yeah, right.
And then it's like you have those pictures, and then MNL48, no picture of members,
Right.
nothing,
Nope.
no.
Nothing.
It's like it's basically we're gonna have a concert event with these people featuring MNL48. I'm confused. It's like, I don't want to.
They're so confusing. But the thing about them though is like I'm not saying they're not salvageable because the one thing they do have, the only thing they have that's good, in my opinion, at this point, is they actually have talent in their group. They do got girls that can sing. They do got girls that can dance, and they sing very well. So I will give them that. The problem is they're singing in such a Western way. It doesn't sound like Idol to me. It sounds like I don't know, like people trying to sing idol songs but making it so westernized, it comes off as like really bad like R&B or like regular Western songs you might hear on the radio. Maybe if some college kid wanted to play it on his radio station and be nice to them. I don't know. Like it's it's just really, really like, wow, you actually do have girls that can do something. I've heard them. I've heard their voices because we did have some MNL48 fans that gave us some links. Thank you, by the way. That was very cool. I was able to check out some stuff, and I did, and I was like, okay, I can see there's something there, but it's just they're lost in this vortex of crazy confusion about what idol is. They don't get it. They don't get it, and it's so westernized over there that they're not focusing on what they need to focus, which is create the structure. It's very Japanese centric, because again, the brand is AKB48. You're representing Japan in that sense, and then maybe you can start to understand the concept of idol, and that's what you're delivering. Not take AKB and make it Filipino, and again, I don't mean that as a negative to the Philippines or the Filipinos everywhere. That's not a negative. I'm just simply saying in the context of idol, I don't think it's appropriate at this point. Maybe you could do like what B&K did with their new song, and like maybe take the idea of idol and translate it into like what B&K did with like Thai culture. That kind of works, but it's still idol there. It's still idol. Versus this, it's like it's not idol anymore. It's this whole other thing. That's not saying it's a bad thing, because some would argue, well, doing something new and different is good. Yes, I agree. But not in this case. In this case, it just sounds like a confusing mess. It really does. So I can't get on board with this. And I hope people in MNL48 understand that, like, go to Japan for a little bit. See how it's done. Bring that back to Manila. You'll have an idol group. And you'll have a good idol group, too. Because, again, the girls actually have talent.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
Colin?
I love BNK.
Hey, I downloaded the latest single on Apple Music. So now I have Beginner and Kimako Tatsuki Dakara.
Yeah.
So
Fire, by the way. Yeah.
and what was it? Let's Go? Was it? No?
Let you go.
Let you go. Let's go. Yeah, so I'm listening to that. That's a good development. They're going the right way. So, all right. DX, any thoughts on MNL48?
I was just PO when I heard the announcement that members are actually going to be fired, even if they're just started, because the actual debut of the second generation or the members that were in training for second generation members was literally that concept beforehand. So they don't have any time to appeal or anything like that. It's more like they train for about, I don't know, a month or so, and then they might be fired after that. It was like, what's the point? I didn't even sign up for this. So yeah, I'm really PO about it. And even though, and to be quite honest, this whole version of their Sousenkyo is a tarnish, an embarrassment for the actual Sousenkyo that we loved in Japan. So and in Bangkok as well. So it's more like, no, this is not Sousenkyo. This is elimination. It's like, no, it's not for me to be quite.
Okay. So what's happening in the radio world, by the way?
Everything is getting cancelled.
Yeah.
Everything is getting cancelled.
Shizaka's radio show is getting cancelled.
Everything's getting cancelled. Kitari's show is also ending.
True.
But now I'm also reading now. Matsuya Juria is getting a radio show.
Yeah. True.
SKE48 is getting a radio show.
A new kind of All Night Nippon on a Sunday.
the Nogizaka All Night Nippon is taken over. Here, that's what I'm saying also with stabilization. So AKB48 All Night Nippon is ending, and now it's Nogizaka 46 All Night Nippon. It's like, okay, you took that over, so things are changing. Is this normal? I think I've never seen this before, actually, that the radio system changes so much this week.
No, I'm gonna.
No.
What?
I wanted to say radio is dying. It has been for years.
Just listen to Queen. All we need is Radio Gaga.
Gaga.
Okay. Well, looking forward to the radio shows. Well, I don't listen to them too many, but again, it's a change, and it's always sad when something just ends because people don't like change, and that's always what it is.
True.
But when change happens, people adjust, and suddenly we are okay with it. And sometimes for the better, sometimes it's for the worst.
That depends.
Well, it really depends, yeah. So.
Okay. I have some Nogizaka 46 news that just came out, I think. Their new album's coming out. like that. It's called Ima ga Omoide ni Naru Mare.
Yes.
It's 8 new songs. See, oh, that's good. That's pretty good. And limited edition last songs. Okay, so that's our last performances. Oh, this looks nice actually. So, you guys interested in Nogizaka 46? There are new types of songs that are coming out.
Not sure what to expect, to be quite honest. I hope they're releasing more songs like Inochi wa Itsukushi or Nandom no Aozoaka. That type of song I really like from Nogizaka. The last couple of songs were not quite my cup of tea.
I agree.
Well, you can also move on to Eyes One second album coming out to release in 2 versions in Violet and Sapphire. On
sounds like a Pokemon game. I'm
actually,
Oh my god, just something hit me.
What's that?
it's basically like a Pokemon. You know the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
They always come in 2 versions, and you have a Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire game. So now it's like Eyes One.
Oh my god, that just hit me.
So does that mean?
Probably intentional. You probably did it for that reason.
So does that mean you only have in one version half the members of Eyes One, or you have in this version only these members of Eyes One? Yeah.
Gotta catch
I'm
them all.
sorry, because it makes me think of Pokemon, I'm just having a laugh so hard.
So
Gotta catch them all.
can you use in Bluetooth to trade members during the other system, and then you have like a special version?
You need an online
I'll trade you
membership.
Sakura down for Taeon.
So that means in the Violet version you have Sakura with blonde hair, and in the Sapphire version, you know, with
ultra rare version.
do you also have an opportunity to get a shiny? They have different outfits.
Oh. Hey, there you go. That's the new thing right now. Let's just turn this into a big video game.
Yeah, that's an
Just
option.
collect members.
But Colin, you're gonna laugh more because I'm reading the details.
Oh god.
Here we go.
Laughed too much today.
Here we go. You have a 106-page booklet. You have a Violet version and a Sapphire version. You have clear sleeves, 13 kinds, 2 different versions. An 8-page mini book, 13 kinds, 2 different versions. 2 photo cards, randomized, 24 kinds in 2 different versions. The CD, wow, oh, there's a CD in it, nice. There's a pop-up card, also in 2 different kinds, and a poster, 12 random kinds, first run edition only. So, yeah, you have a... it's turning into a Pokemon game, okay. That's, how about the songs? I just want to hear the songs. It's like... well, looking forward to that. That was interesting. You guys already going to watch Eyes Want You? I think...
Nah.
Actually, yeah.
It's already started? Did already...
No, it's the first episode is actually today, the 21st. So.
Interesting. Well, looking forward to that. Hopefully it will be fun as well as the last time I went over there.
I heard some rumors about the show though.
Yeah?
Maybe Takashi Jui might show up actually.
What?
Wowzers.
Heard some rumors. These are rumors, disclaimer. But I heard some rumblings about she might be popping up.
Hopefully other Produce 48 members will have... I know one I want to see there. What's her name again?
I'm still recovering.
No, on a serious note, I forgot her name. It's like I follow her on Instagram, so her Instagram.
You going? You going?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like I want Mama Un being in there, basically, just showing up and being like, oh, so I could have been in this group, basically. Could be fun to see in there.
Another rumor today, actually was Chiba Eri was actually in Korea for one day.
Ah, yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, that's
More
really
coaching
happening a lot.
from Korea, getting all these members.
It's going better right now over there.
Yeah, whatever. That's good. Go Korea for that. I'm proud of them for seeing the opportunities they have over there and trying to take it. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, the things are changing once again because this has also been announced very recently. Mukaichi Mion is going to be the Sokantaku starting April 1st.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
Is that a joke? Yeah.
I saw this picture of her when Yokoyama Yui announced it, and you saw just Mukesh Miyu and it's
What am I getting into?
like not ready. I'm so not ready to do this.
I mean, it is very fast. I mean, if Elon wants to toss the baton to someone else, I'm fine. That's good. Takamina did that officially the Sokantoku position for this quite of amount, this amount of time. And if Yuhan wants to do that too, that's normal. I'm used to something like that as well, where a baton for something gets passed over. That is fine. I think 4 months ago, this was announced that this would be the plan. And now for Mion to be like this already so soon, I find it a bit too soon, to be honest.
Yeah, even
I would've-
Yuion had quite a bit of preparation, to be quite honest. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if it was like a year or
Yeah.
maybe even around, October, November, I would have been okay with it. And I know Yuihan wants to stand by her. Basically, sorry, the
Stand
kind of
by
right
you.
hand. Yeah, I was thinking about that one.
Yeah.
Lots of things that I have a lot of revelations today. Sorry, but yeah, she wants to maintain some form of counseling, like a bit like Michan had to a degree. I'm feeling someone else too. I'm forgetting someone, but that is good. I think it's a bit too soon, but if it's Yuyan's decision, I wholeheartedly stand behind her. So I do think it's a bit too soon, but if she thinks the time is now, she wants to do it now, then okay, that's cool. You never know. Maybe Yuihan knows that there's a clean slate coming, or it's happening, that she wants to transition in a way that the next chapter, we kind of already were there, to begin, anew. But that's a bit, there's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter the prologue for chapter 3, and now it's chapter 3.
Then you get a different timeline, then you go into
the timelines, alternate universes. I'm like, we'll see in a few weeks. But it's darkest timeline.
Well, yeah.
But we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
I think we know that Mion can do it though. I mean, we saw that AK Bingo episode. She's a workhorse. She can do it.
Yeah.
My fear though is that this means Yui Han's gonna announce graduation soon or something, because
Yeah,
that's what it
same.
feels like. Why the urgency?
No.
But who
no.
knows? Maybe not.
When she announced she's going to appoint it, she doesn't want to leave the group. She wants to stay in the background. She just doesn't want to be
Okay.
Sokantoku anymore. So I don't think she'll
Okay,
leave.
that's good.
I don't think she'll leave until Yukurin leaves.
Yeah, I can see that.
Next in line. There are two members still next in line to leave before Yuihan, I think, and that's Michan and Yukirin.
Yeah. How about, there's also Miyazaki Miyo and Oya Shizuka, because they are old in the sense that they have been there for a very long time. They were Gen 5, I want to say. Miho was. So they've been around for quite a long time, At one point
Wasn't
or
Miho
another.
already announcing graduation?
No, not Miyazaki Miho.
I have a feeling she did.
No, maybe someone
don't
else.
think so.
Maybe we talked about it. Because I
The last one from 48 group for AKB48 would be Hitomi Kotone.
I have a feeling will be soon.
Yeah, I agree. I think I said that during the end of
Yeah,
special
it will
last
be.
week.
It will be soon.
I think it will be soon for both of them, but surely one of them. But I do.
I think Miho.
Yeah,
Yeah, Miho for sure. I could see her going over the whole Korean odyssey of members. Like, it's only a matter of time before she gets over to Korea. But that's almost to be expected. Shizuka, I don't know. Michan, I don't know. I stay with my prediction that, like I said a long time ago, she'll stay with the group till it's done. I just have or till they kick her out. Like, because it's like she needs it, because she's an attention person. So I don't know. Maybe she's changed, but I don't know. It's interesting. And then Hitomi Kotone. Kotone was the last member AKB wise, and then of course Joe Erico announced for NMB, which sucks. But
Again.
yeah, like
Again, yeah.
those are about the only big announcements.
Well, yeah,
So-
the teammate one was also very heartbreaking. Colin,
Kotone, yeah.
will you not send me links of something that really, really pulls the heartstrings? Ikumin just tearing up, and she just does the side away, and
Oh yeah, when
that
I saw
was
that, it broke
that was like, oh, that hurt.
Rough.
That was
Oh,
so rough.
I wanted to send you one from Shimizu Rika from NMB as well. Rikati, she really lost Joe Eriko, so yeah, she is in the same position as Ikumin pretty much.
Oh,
I'm not quick to share stuff like that, but I was like, "Ow, that really hurt." Because
yeah, no, I saw
love
it.
both members,
It
so,
really was like, oh, that was such a genuine reaction. Just like very
was-
upset. Like, all right, can't hold. Nope, and
that
just
was just a big, genuine reaction, and that was. I already was sad by graduation. I really. Yeho may hate me for it, but I think that she had the most beautiful smile in the whole of AKB. If you disagree with me, well, show me a better picture because she had really the prettiest smile. I was a pretty girl overall. I even have not a photo book, but I had something where she was in, I think, Flash magazine. I'm not
like
sure.
like a magazine, yeah. In
Yeah,
there.
but and her graduation, I saw it coming because I knew she had her birthday coming up. I watched it, and that was really sad. It's like that's also another graduation where I'm like, that hurts in a way.
They're moving on. They're jumping ship.
Yeah, she wants to be a model, and I think she
Yeah.
should.
Well,
Uh,
you can now go with the ship with the STU boat certificate, so they can
yeah.
finally go on the sea.
I see what you did there.
Quickly throw it in there.
Hey ho!
Deal with their
I
boats.
need to focus because I'm losing too much of my sense. I'm laughing way too much today.
No, the thing with Stu in their like boat situation, it's like this. Like first they get the boat, then they get the certificate, then they're gonna have to get repairs, then it's gonna
And the
be like something
captain.
else, and something else. Then it's never gonna sail. Like seriously, I think
I'm
it's all
gonna
stalling.
imagine the what you call it, the like launch day or the set ashore day
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So you have the tradition, the bottle throwing against it, and they're going bye bye, and then it's like it hits like the curve and like.
It's just
like
I can see it. Yeah.
will just stay in the bay like circling around or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
you just see the captain go down like. Okada now like. You just see the pink redness hair just on top bubbling. Like, what's she doing lately? She's coloring her hair like I saw it in green, I saw it in blonde, in pink, in gray, and silver. It's like the red looks good though. I'm not gonna lie, it looks very good on her. But still,
Seems logical for her to experiment.
but look, I'm the one to judge. But your hair's dying if you continue to like that. So,
funny.
all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get to our loyal fan of Patreon, Jerrison? Finally, we can go answer his questions.
I forgot. Maybe can someone remind me? Is there some?
Let's see.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah,
What we wanted to talk about.
right on.
Yeah,
All right then, let's go to our Patreon fan, Jerrison Oracion. Had a lot of questions. He's been waiting for now for a long time. So let's go through them one by one. So, here are his questions. First, a few questions about Team 8. How many original members are still in the team?
20 something. 23.
Yeah, it's around 20 or so.
I don't know the exact number, but yeah, they replace them every time, and it feels
Yeah.
like a lot have left now. I think more than
Yeah.
10. I'm not sure if it's going to be 20, so around more than a third, at least.
Yeah, I can see that. I think you can easily look it up on Stage 48, but that's a good question because, like, yeah, how many members are left in that sense?
Mhm.
From the first generation, to be quite honest, I have no clue.
I
Only one out for a bit before the whole Shitao Miyu thing. In any case, was Hamamatsu Ryona, but she was English
Yeah.
speaking. That's the reason, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've been here and there.
What is your favorite member in Team 8? And do you think that they should get their own album?
Hmm.
Can I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okabe Rin.
Okay.
Ah, Okabe.
Yes, I really, I've
I like
said
that
it,
one.
I think kind of before, but I have like make her like my Team 8 Oshi. I absolutely love her. So I would say her without a doubt. And original album, yeah, sure, I would
Sure.
love it.
Yeah.
I mean, Team 8 can do great songs. Their last song, Hachinosa Dance,
Yeah.
love it. Second favorite song last year. If they do songs like that, I love it because whenever they do like live performances, they tend to do Yonju Nanano as
Yeah.
well, Hachinosa Dance because that's recently, but a lot of AKB songs. So I would really like a Team 8 album. I love Team 8. Team 8 is the best team. As I'm a Team B Oshi, but Team 8 is the best. So I would totally dig it. Like, yeah,
They had the best song.
yeah, true.
Finally.
We've always had it. We've always known.
Yeah, for me, it's still as always Ikumin. That's the one that has the facial features that I really like, the emotions, the passion. Sometimes the problem is when Tima started, she was pushed to the moon, like, oh, this is the top member, while she was still developing basically. But where she is now, her dance style, her leadership, her strong impression, I think still to this day, it's one of my favorite members of Teammates.
Oh yeah. So true.
If I'm looking through this, the one that's currently a lot of fun because of AK Bingo is of course it's Hama.
Yeah.
That's really
Hama. She's
Hama
great.
Sayonara. That's very funny
Honorable
to see.
mention to her, yeah.
Too funny.
You know, it's like the ding ding ding.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah,
same
she's
with Yamada Nanami.
Anime.
I haven't
Yeah,
heard
so-
a lot of her in a while. Miss her on that side. I
Yeah.
still think she's going to interact a lot. But if I'm going through it, I don't want to go the easy answer. I like Yokoyama Yui, Yui Han. Not
Oh, yeah.
No, not Yoki. There's a
Yeah,
teammate
Yoko-chan.
Yokoyama.
Yeah, Yoko-chan or Yui-han.
Yui Han. I mean Yui. That's
Oh,
Yoko
good.
Yuri.
yeah. Oh goody. Yeah. See, I'm
Almost named.
there's too many Yuis. No, I don't want to go the easy way out because I don't believe Yui is a teammate member, or she used to be a teammate member, but she's more a Team A member.
Hey,
Yeah, she's now
Yeah,
just more
I agree.
teammate than
Yeah.
teammate, I would say so.
Teammates claimed her, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
Why is I'm looking at this list here and I see Hayasaka Tsumugi still listed? It's like, no, she's gone.
No, she's going to be in another girl band.
people don't update.
Yeah. It's,
Can't believe everything you read.
Oda Erina, that's another strong one.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
love her
yeah.
too.
Her singing style, of course, one of the best singers in AKB48. The wrestling thing that really eye-opened me, you know, the
Yeah.
WIP style
Oh,
in there.
yeah,
Her
too.
comedy is on point. I really love. One of the favorite moments, of course, when they had the viral video with
The cockroach.
Oh, the
not the
cockroach.
cockroach, not the cockroach.
Cicada.
That's the thing that people think was
It
a
starts with a
cockroach.
C.
They have people on American news shows eating cockroaches. Like, you idiots.
No, it's true. It's true.
Let's see. Going through teammates. Ota now is also sometimes fun.
Always love her.
Oh, yeah.
She's great.
Mhm.
No, I still gotta go with Ikumin in the end. That's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Team 8 is great, like I said. So yeah.
DX?
No, for me, it's a bit of a special story for Team 8 for me because it was actually a Korean friend of mine that pushed me towards her because he was like, "Why didn't you notice her?" But yeah, I'm going with Chita Miu actually.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it coming.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically, my Korean friend was like, "Why aren't you interested in that?" Bosh! Literally smashed my head through my own window. So that, okay, sure.
That costs a lot of money.
yeah,
How's the window?
it's fine.
Wow, not even talking about his head insurance?
We're Dutch. We're
Yeah, it's so hard at it.
That's the first.
Yeah, we got good insurance in this country.
So,
Yeah,
that, you know, it's
Yeah, she
obviously
probably-
it's a joke. You know, oh, how's the, you know, of course.
Derek?
Yeah, so I've seen every group in AKB, you know, I've seen every group and even 16 Gen and I've seen them all live and Teammate, I remember very distinctly Tokyo Idol Fest had the loudest cheers I've ever heard in my life for like any of the AKB groups.
Right.
Their fans went nuts when they did First Rabbit. I remember the big circle of fans behind me getting down, acting like rabbits and bouncing around. And when anytime Yu is on the stage, it was like you couldn't even hear her talk. So I think Teammates' power is unparalleled. And now they're MVPs in all the groups. Now they've been kind of scattered into each of the teams and stuff. But I think if I had to pick Teammate, well, first I think Teammate should get their own album. Excuse me. I think Teammate in general just should have their own album. They're all amazing. But go back to AK Bingo, the dance competition. The three girls. There was Ikumin,
Yokoyama Yui, and
Yui. Who was the other one? Thank you. So
was it? He told me.
Maybe. Yeah, but continue there.
Now I'm confused. I thought it was Okabari.
I know it was Yokoyama Yui as I'm forgetting the third.
Ikumin Yui and Ikumin and Yokoyama for sure, but the other one I can't remember. But okay, so those three, when I saw them dance and how well they dance, I kept thinking to myself, they could do something like, if you go back to China's group, with Shanghai48, they did like a side group or something, Sense 8 or Dream 8 or Dream Sense, I don't know. And I remember watching that side thing they did with all their special girls that could like super dance, and it was amazing. It's actually like a really good song that group put out. It's actually really catchy. At least the first one was. I don't know what they're doing now or anything, but my mind goes back to that and wants to apply it to this question with these three, because I kept thinking if those three got together and they did like a little mini album, like a dance album, dance centric, even K-pop centric would be okay. I think they would crush it. I think it'd be so much fun to watch them go live dance like that, because I really like girls that can dance and dance well. I think singing and dancing, actually I go for girls that sing more than anything else, like really well, but dancing really, I'm a big fan of that. Like and Ikumin and Yui, like those girls, their bodies are like elastic. They don't even look real when they dance, and they're so skinny that, like, I don't know, just the way they're able to move, it works. It works on every level. So they definitely, and I'm being actually legit serious about this question, they definitely should have something if they're still interested in doing that kind of thing. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
Cool.
All right.
And actually, I know we have to go more questions, but it actually gave me another idea about replacing Sousenkyo. Would it be cool if, you know, like how in the Junket, how people were able to get their own teams, they can go solo or create their own little things. If they did something like that with Sousenkyo, where every all these girls, all of them got together, they can each decide their own little groups, and then not like a crowdfunding, but like you can put so many CD purchases or so many purchases into making that group actually happen. Like they each have a level they have to reach or something. So this way, we all of a sudden would have an enormous amount of content coming out of the AKB world with all these different groups or something. I don't know. It's just a rough idea. It just came to me. But I kind of like that idea where you can still really support your Oshi, still really support their dreams. Then this also kind of solves the whole idea of like, oh, well, I ranked 90th and I'm still not getting anything. Well, now you could get something. Like you would be part of a group that would get their own single, their own concert, whatever their goal is that they're achieving or going for the group. You could support that, but it would have to be like a certain amount, like only like the top 20 groups that are formed out all this get their dream done or something. I don't know, something like that. That might be an idea. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Just came to me.
Since Kaori Matsumura left SKE48, can you describe the relationship between her and Suda Akari?
Sisters.
Yeah. Well, Obasans. that's first my idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Just look at the request hour every time they did that song together. The cover, that trophy with the legs up.
That's
it's
cool.
It's weird though. Why is that the cover? Since Teammate was the winner.
No, that's the cover for SKE.
Yeah.
Oh, this SKE request hour. So, blank there. Yeah, no, that song is iconic. You know, those two are. The funny thing is, they're both a variety type. But Suda Akari had the fishing style. No, that captivate the fans. But they were all reliable members. Basically, they were the two grannies. That's how the relationship were. But they were the very close grannies talking to each other. So it's another combination. Same with Matsumi Okari and Tani Marika, who had that combination in there. Those two were also very, very close. So it's just a close duo. It's really a duo that you're gonna miss. All right. Next, do you think that they should make it more easier for international fans to get tickets for big handshake events? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without even a question.
Not even a question.
I remember it was well, this is not even a handshake event. It's like getting into the concert when I was there. That was such a weird loophole situation. I couldn't get in unless I was with a Japanese person. Like that Japanese had needed to have a Japanese idea, otherwise I wasn't allowed in. That's already a situation. Go ahead, Derek. You have more experience.
Sorry. This one really bugs me. Like I think this has been something we've discussed many times. I think about my friend Christopher and his struggle to just get into the AKB theater, and he applies regularly, and often he gets in on cancel machi, where like if somebody does cancel, you can go in, and so there's no empty areas. I think it's just incredibly crazy that at the same time Christopher has seen many people repeatedly in there, like over and over and over and over again, and they always get in, and guess what, they're always Japanese. So there's definitely been this underlying resistance to having foreign elements in the actual concerts, the actual communities, the handshake stuff. But also, I think it really just comes down in some cases to language barrier, and also not understanding things. For example, if you ordered tickets and you want a refund or you want this or something else, they wouldn't know how to handle a problem. It's all good if it goes smooth, but when there's a problem, forget it. And I've seen that. I've seen that actually in person at handshake events, where foreigners are trying to, they don't understand they need to get their tickets stamped, and so they're like, and it's going back, and the poor Japanese people have no idea what to say, and so they're just trying to avoid problems. Because remember, in Japan, wa rules it all. You got to have the wa, the balance, the composure, and they don't want problems. So they look at the foreign element as a problem, even if we're not. We still are, because if there's one problem that happens throughout the chain of buying a ticket to actually meeting the member, guess what? They don't have the ability necessarily to deal with that problem because of the language issue. So having said that, I just think it's real simple. You hire freaking staff that can speak English to deal with it. Duh, you're done. Easy. There's so many people that need network here. They speak both languages. Boom. Easy. Done.
Remember they made that English version, the English site for tickets.
That was a total fad. That was completely.
I haven't been on there ever again.
It doesn't work.
Because has anyone say, oh yeah, the site works, yeah, you can just order tickets, no problem.
I use a Japanese site, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like they made the English site just as a cover-up, like, oh no, you can apply.
Basically,
it's there.
Yep.
It's there.
It's there.
Not saying you're gonna get it. You can apply.
Sure, apply. Here you go. We're not gonna look at it, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, thank you. It's like basically it's like there's the invite. I'm like, thank you. Okay, let's move on.
It's like mail that you throw away.
That's exactly it. You know how Christopher gets in? He writes his name in katakana and hiragana on all of his applications. That's how he even gets an email back, because he understands it. That literally he was doing the English stuff, and then the minute he started doing that, he got tickets. And of course, this was before they decided to not let foreigners in, because there was a time at the beginning. It doesn't matter you're foreign, it didn't matter. They wanted people in. It's like, oh, you want to come in, watch these girls because no one else is? Please come on in. So it wasn't. You could get in, and then at some point it just stopped. It just completely stopped. And then Christopher was like, I haven't got in. Boom, boom, boom. Then he started writing his name in hiragana, katakana. Boom, in. How funny is that?
To be quite honest, I did that from the start actually, and yeah, I won relatively easy as well. So you have to do that.
There you go.
My point.
All right. Next. Does staff pushing members could lead to them leaving the group earlier in the case of Maida Atsuko, Watame Mayu, and AKB48 Hirate Yurina?
I most certainly think that that's the case, but more of a eventual case. I do think that because of the pushing, which you can, use my example of peer pressure as well. Pushing those members can lead to certain consequences. Do I have to tell about Achan? Do I have to tell about Yuri Itachi? I don't, because you guys know what I'm talking about.
Well,
so I do think it's not totally all right, because as we can see, it has certain consequences, which eventually will make it so that they may decide to graduate. I do think that's
How
the
how old
case.
is Techi? She's now turning 18 this year, I think. Group is
I'll
then
take
she
a
started 15. Group has been for 3 years, so she's 18, 18 to 19. There
She's
is this.
17 actually.
Yeah, she's turning 18 this year, right?
Yeah, she's turning 18 this year.
Yeah. So there's on this Blu-ray on the new album that came out, or the single came out. It's called Keiki House,
Kiyaki House, yeah.
and
So
it's basically a like a documentary where all the members are um, going to live together in a house, and they
Yep.
currently, thanks for the pressing subs who subbed this, they are going to get some food in there. I laughed at Tetsu's comments here at the Unia's comments.
Is there
Like,
alcohol?
yeah, she's like, oh, is there alcohol? It's like, I need alcohol. And then it's like, well, you can't drink alcohol. You and Kobayashi Yui are the only ones that are underage. She's like, yeah, damn it. It's like, that's her mindset. She's already over there. The moment, if she makes it in Keikisaka, when she reaches 20, she'll be...
Drunk.
I'll make another prediction. She'll be... So that will that also be 2021? I believe so. She'll come on stage drunk. There will be an event where she's drunk.
Mm.
Colin.
I mean, if I would go to a concert or something and the person I want to see is coming on drunk, I think that's very rude. I would be like, okay.
Amy
fine.
Winehouse.
Yeah, same. You can make any example. I think that's just bad.
Drake did that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
I
people did
think
that.
that's just giving out a bad example. I think it's bad etiquette and unprofessional.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking. I don't think it will happen, but it was funny to me that she's like, maybe because of the pushing, she already has the mindset like, oh, just give me a drink, you know. I just need some alcohol in me just to relieve the stress. Drink responsibly, everybody. Since each of no, the first is one. If you were part of a staff for a day, what would you do? Hire
Throw
a
a
translator. I think that is the first thing I would do.
No, I would hire a complete English Japanese staff. Rehire some people. Also, at the end of the day, I want to party because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Just do something fun. Get some people that can actually. I would do stuff, like in a way that they have to do, even if I'm, if I'm only able for that day, they must do it eventually. I would do it like that, and just put out events that I like, and I think that people would like.
I would change the water bottle system at handshake events. It's like that poor person who has to do the cutting and the straw thing. That they're still doing that. It's like
You're a good person.
you have bottles nowadays that you don't even have to twist so their wrist doesn't hurt. You can, or you have a straw. It's so much easier. No, on a serious note, staff members. Yeah, I would open more to international events, and I know it would be easy to just make it instantly the change.
That's true.
But I would make it so not so strict anymore, because it really feels unapproachable. And for the Japanese fans, they're used to it. They're like, hey, I'm a hardcore fan. You do this, 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 and this. Maybe an event where it's more approachable. Maybe an international only event. How about that?
Ooh.
How about you have the women's stages. How about make a international stage like in Japan? It's like, hey, you're gonna be up that day, and if they don't fill up, then you can, what Derek said, it's like the cancel check. You were like, hey, we need to fill them up, and you just fill them up with Japanese people if you wanna be going that route. But do something more appealing to international, I would say. Derek?
Or just do something.
Do something.
Well, okay, so all you out there listening, here's a word for you to know. It's called kankeisha. That's what we call idol staff. So kankeisha. So I am a kankeisha. So the thing is, I would say if I was kankeisha for AKB, in a day, it's literally impossible to do anything really substantial as far as change goes. If I was in management, that might be a little different question. But I think for me, it would be more about, making sure that things are running smoothly, which is kind of what I do now within my context of working for Necroma. Is just I basically make sure things run as well as I can based off whatever I'm told to do. That's like taking this question and applying it a little more realistically. On an imaginative level, more like dreamy level, I think I would, if I had one day to like do all the changes, I'd reinstall the Sousenkyo. I would definitely I would hire a lot of creative people that I know from the world that I'm in now to write some songs for AKB and get them set going with that. I would take a lot of members that are basically floundering. I'd have a whole list. I'd meet with them as much hours of the day as I could, and I would make sure that they each are going to have a track of something to follow. Maybe if one girl is a master of, I don't know, juggling, I'm gonna put her in some kind of a circus type event where she can show off her skills. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure every member is paid attention to within that time frame. And then also, as far as international fans, I, as a website person, I definitely would want to make sure they would have a much more easier path and access online to getting tickets. And I would open that door up a lot more. And I would definitely want to hire people that have a little bit more of bilingual capabilities. And on top of that, I would show that I care about the international fans through some kind of a gesture of goodwill. An all international concert wouldn't work here in Japan. It just wouldn't, for a lot of reasons I don't want to get into. But I would say something like that makes sense. Something where you have a section like they used to have for foreigners, for people that went out and like theater things and things like that, where you could actually be counted amongst that. And those seats were yours and they were decent seats. One of the things that I love about the Chica world is that like when you're at a show, and assuming all the fans are not pinch-K are what we call annoying fans that are just like horrible and like they don't care about anyone and they're pinch-K. And pinch-K can be really fun to have if you're the group that has the pinch-K fans, but if you're waiting for another group going on that day and you have to deal with other people's pinch-K fans, sometimes it can be difficult. There can be fights, things like that. But assuming you don't have that element there, one of the most beautiful things about Idol that I love, when you have a Taibon, which is a show with many groups, let's say your group's on 2 groups later than the group's on currently. You wait in the back, and then when it's your turn, you can go up to the front. The people that were there, let's say for the group before, they'll move and they'll let you go up front. And you rotate in and out. And this is just an unspoken thing among Japanese fans. Now, unfortunately, a lot of Westerners, they don't get that. They camp out on the front, and that pisses off a lot of Japanese fans. It's like, dude, move. Like, I know you're not here to see every group. Move. And they don't do it, and that's very impolite. That they don't understand. The Japanese don't know how to tell them that, so they don't say nothing. But they get death stares. They get maybe sometimes pushed into. I've seen it. But in the idol world, you move in and out. You move in and out, and you do that. So in that sense, it'd be really cool if the Western element, when they go to shows, could be educated about that. They could be put up front for certain songs or things like that, and make it very, hey, we're happy to have Westerners here. Thank you so much for coming. And I think the Japanese community could get behind that. I actually think they'd be cool with that, because then it would be organized. And I think instituting something as simple like that would make a huge difference as far as getting more money coming in from Westerners and things like that. So in one day, I try to do all that, and maybe I try to sleep for like 2 minutes.
Whew. DX, anything to add?
For me, it's more like on the staff side, make it more welcoming, like Derek said, for the foreigner fans. But my own experience when I was visiting the Chroma in Shinokubo, they were really welcoming, to be quite honest. I was just like that accepted in the hardcore fans, to be quite honest. Kind of surprised about it myself, and even made a couple of lady friends when I was at the concert, something that I didn't quite expect. So it's more like, just adapt and try not to stand out, I would say. So, and then everything is going to be fine, to be quite honest. And if Steph can make it easier for the Western side, I would say, yeah.
All right.
Help it out.
Since each of the groups are under different record labels, how do each of them approach a 48 group? I have no clue.
Same. I think there is. I just personally haven't really paid attention to such a thing. I think there is. I couldn't tell you, sadly. Just not something that I personally am really interested in or think about. I do think there is. I just haven't really paid attention to it.
Anyone else?
I don't even know how to start answering this question, to
Nope.
be quite honest. So
Nope.
yeah.
Same here.
Sorry about that one. In the show, you mentioned a lot of senpai terms. Do you think that you can explain them? I mean, it's basically when we say senpai and kohai. Senpai is the older member that's been longer in the group, and kohai is the younger member compared to
Yeah.
the senpai. That's the most when we talk about. You have a lot more terms, but if you really want to go into detail, then I would just say look up those details because not much
There
to
are
say.
little stories here and there.
Like Derek just mentioned with staff, there's a word for that, but I also heard it just go with the English version staff-san, stuff like that. So
Sure.
it's an honorifics, you know. The Korea has them as well, you know, oppa, stuff like that.
That's
Yeah, it's always a good like oppa, yeah,
Yeah.
what does have my grandfather to do with it? I don't
yeah,
know.
oppa. So
That's
alright.
funny.
Yeah. Now a few questions about the Gakuen series. Who is the creepiest bad guy in any of the Gakuen series? For me, based on only watching Majima Uri Gakuen, Kaiser is the creepiest bad guy. Well, if I'm GinoZX, I would say Miyawaki Sakura is the bad guy.
I knew that was coming. I knew that.
That was
Ah,
coming,
Gino,
yeah.
I miss him.
He always says she ruined Majima Gakuen.
She ruined it. It's I hate her. I can just hear it.
On all the bad guys.
You know, I
Well-
don't personally think that any of them is creepy, or that makes me creepy. I would say that the one that I think played it the best would be Honda Himata. I think she really played it so fun, so great. It made me think of Tom Hiddleston as Loki. So I really actually grew to like her because of that. And the only other one that I liked the way they played it was Itano Tomomi, but that's more of a personal preference that there's not really a
Well, for me personally, I would say, well, she started out as a bad guy, Kakikara. She wasn't someone I would want to encounter in a dark alley or something like that.
okay, she is. I would
Oko?
say the creepy, but
Yeah.
but more in a fun way, like the same way I have with Crow's Blood. I don't see it as creepy. I just
Well,
on how it's ridiculous.
to be fair, it's just compared to the other ones, that was like holy. This one was just, you know, Gekikata was just insanely. But
I
when
would say fun,
but-
like
but-
Honda Himata.
when you hear the backstory though, whoo, that was
Yeah, that's made me laugh.
well, still also with the theater stages. Yeah, the bad guys was more of a gang, that not memorable. So yes, a few memorable characters in there. I'm trying to make a joke. Who was the in Kawakuri Kabaska Gakuen?
Which
Who-
one?
That guy,
The stalker guy, or the one that was
the
yandere?
manager.
The one that wanted to sleep with Sakura-tan was kind of, that's just creepy.
Oh man, it's
I don't know. It was a weird show. Very fun though.
fun.
I need to
No,
watch that
I-
again just for fun.
Yeah, I should do the same.
Yeah, same.
I really liked Majisuka Gakuen 5. I thought that's one of the best like all-time idol shows ever because it came out of left field. Before it was like this kind of not cheesy, but like very like kitschy, like
Yeah,
kind of
kinda
schmaltzy
cheesy,
sort of
yeah.
show. It was fun. It was like, you know, it was, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
like it was like, okay, you know what I compare it to? When I watched Transformers as a kid. On TV, and like nobody died. It was like every episode the problem was resolved. Then Transformers the movie came out,
Yeah, yeah.
and like
yeah,
Unicron
yeah.
started killing everybody, and like Starscream got like turned into dust, and I'm like, what's going on? Like these are my like I grew
Yeah.
up with this, and like everybody started dying.
Yeah.
So I'm just like that's like it like went to this whole other level. And then I mean, wow, did you kill poor
Yeah,
Peru?
the-
Come on.
Transformers was like, yeah, they die. That's an
Everyone
option.
They
does.
died. I was like, what? So I think that whole season was filled with not necessarily creepiness, but like engaging characters that kind of made
Yeah.
you go,
Yeah.
what am I freaking watching? Like I felt that way several times. It was awesome. In the end, bloodbath. Come on, you can't beat it. everybody dies. It's like amazing.
All right. Do you think there will be a season 2 of Majimuri Gakuen? I hope not. In the love of God, I do not hope. They will though. They probably
They
will.
probably will, though, yeah.
It won't be Majimuri, I think. It won't be a follow. It will be a standalone thing. But if you wait long enough, people will want it again, and you always have a new crop of generation you can use. So
I would like a Kabuska Gakuen season 2. I would
Yeah.
like a new
Yes.
drama. Not necessarily a season 2 of this one. It was honestly fine in my opinion. I think that Honma really stole it. Like I remember her the most, and I think that's pretty good. I would like something, but the Gakuen thing, it's becoming kind of old. It hasn't really changed that much, and I would like to see something else. Kapuska is different enough for me to be like, yeah,
yeah, that was
I
funny.
like something like that.
Yeah.
Or no, they could do like the wrestling show, but honestly, I
No.
would
Stop.
prefer
No.
the live part of that.
The live wrestling, I would.
because
Yeah.
that's better. But
Physically, I don't want it to do them anymore. We're
I would-
still
I
we're
would
still
rather-
missing Harupi, and
I would rather have Kapuska Gakuen.
yeah,
too.
just keep it safe. And finally, for the question, what are your favorite net shop photos? Personally, the biggest one is the one they wore at the Kojiharu graduation stage, or the concert. It's the cat suit that
Oh,
you
right,
sometimes
okay.
see in there. That's way over the top. Them every time I see a member in that, I'll always be like, okay, that's a oh boy.
We turn
Um,
the temperature up. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I need to think about this. So help me out
Yeah,
here,
same.
guys.
I have an easy answer. Anything with my Oishi. Fine. That's all I need.
That's the easy answer.
hmm
I like the Halloween sets. That's always fun.
That's true.
Derek?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's a weird question. There's no weird questions. I just didn't really understand it because like there's so many thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of photos out
exactly.
there. It's hard to pick just one. But I will say it like I enjoy the trading component when you go to handshake events and everybody has all the photos laid out and you can like trade. That's cool. And I've seen some really good ones in those regards. I used to have a stack of Tani photos because people knew I liked Tani, so they would just give me like all her photos because she was exactly the most popular member to have. But the thing is like I'd say the thing I like, if I could just switch briefly, it's more like when the girls do magazine spreads and they do these really beautiful like photos of themselves. A lot of times it's Gravier, their bikinis or whatever, Mizugi. I don't know. I always think it's done very well. And it's not necessarily done to be overtly sexual. It's just done well. There was one recently I saw when I was going down to Osaka, and I was at like we had one of our many stupid stops like for like 45 minutes at like convenience stores in the middle of nowhere. And I remember going to looking through like some of the like the manga and the magazines, and there's one now that's out that has Ogi on the front. And so what it is, it's like 50, 60 pages of manga, and then there's like 5 pages of like the spread of the girl, whoever's on the front. That's how they get you. And I was looking through it, and Ogi's pictures were just, I mean, it's just unbelievable how beautiful this girl is. And I mean, just really gorgeous. And just like whoever photographed her didn't do it in a way that was like disrespectful to her. It was like super good because there was like one shot where she's like basically just in a bikini, and she's so thin, and it wasn't like disgusting to look at. It wasn't weird. It was like, wow, this girl is just the epitome of beauty when it comes to like what I think of as beautiful in idols. And it was just done really well. So as far as like net shop photos, things like that go, I don't think they capture that as much as these magazine spreads do. So I tend to go more for those. I don't necessarily look at them all, but if occasionally I'll see them, I will. And like, I don't know, do you guys remember Morning Berries? She was a very popular blogger that was out a few years ago. She used to put out every magazine, every book she got, she would put it on her website, and she would every photo she scanned, every single page. Do you guys remember that, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Sorry.
I'm not
No,
sure.
sorry.
Morning, but she disappeared. She used to be a really good friend of mine. We used to talk all the time, but she would just, I mean, book after book after book she would buy, and then she'd scan every page and put it online. So for a while there, I was like really getting into that, and then I bought a bunch of those books because I was like so inspired. Actually, Josh has them, Josh from 46, because when I moved from LA, I couldn't take all of them with me, so I gave them all to him to hold on. So he has like all of them, but those I think are good. So I would say if I could just actually turn this to AKB promotion, if you like the NetShop photo things are cool. They're always fun to get. You can buy them everywhere in Akihabara if you're here. But I'd say go for the photo books or go for those magazines because those spreads sometimes are just drop dead gorgeous. I mean, if you're a Shiroma Miro fan, oh my god, she's on like every week she's on in some book.
Yeah.
So I mean, because she's so photogenic. Which, by the way, when is she getting her photo album? I mean, don't you guys think of anybody? Her and like Comey should have had him by now.
Yeah.
Comey too. I think Mira is
Comey, definitely.
somewhere on a cover. Also, like you said this week. I
That's true.
Commercials.
So many
Commercials, pretty much.
Yeah, that too.
commercial. Yeah.
She'll get one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I imagine.
Not
Just
even a
waiting.
question.
She's waiting for the right time. So.
Summer.
Probably.
Yeah, and those were it. So.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Your questions are
Jerrison,
awesome.
for the
We
question.
did it.
Sorry I had to wait.
Yeah, and then the next one will come up very soon, but we'll go back to the normal format of 3 questions max for this very reason. Alright, let's then move on to the recommendations of next week. I have none since I will not be here next week. I am going on vacation. So next time this episode will be here, I will probably not be here, or I don't know yet. No control over it, so nothing from my end. And sadly, I cannot recommend anything subbed right now that we normally watch because the person who does it is currently on a silent mode, I think. Go ahead, Colin.
You're not entirely right. The channel, there are no videos there, but you can subs.
Yeah,
It's
you can still go there, but there's no videos. And
No, you
And
can
no-
always.
All videos are unlisted, pretty much. So
You
no-
can find it on Stage 48 or the Master List, or even AK Bingo fans on Twitter. Like they share it.
yeah, so there's still ways to go over there, but I haven't seen this week's AK Bingo yet. Normally, it's very easy to go there. I haven't seen the Kita Kakanai, so that was a pretty fun one. They're going into the mind of Habu, and
I saw that. That was great. That was hysterical.
so cringeworthy.
God.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt so
I
much.
loved it.
I like
Habu's my
Habu.
new Oshi, so I was like, oh, this is awesome. I just switched to her because, you know, Manaka's not there anymore. And I'm like, oh, Habu, sweet.
Oh
and, like,
my
she's
god.
I know. No sense. None.
It was.
I
It
tend
was.
to go for the crazy one.
I think Sushi said it's like, I'm just gonna go home. He's like, I can't. he,
I did. That was funny.
he lost it. So if you can find it still, that's my recommendation, I would say. Or what I just said, watch Keiki House. That was very fun to watch, and hopefully the follow-up will come up there.
Mhm.
DX.
Ice Want You, that should be airing in a few hours, I think. So
That's a
Season
good
2
one.
Ice Want You.
Or a Kitchen House. I gotta watch that. That looks very interesting, actually. With Miyawaki Sakura being there regular on, so
Yes.
want to see her cooking style. And then she goes like, I play games like ba ba ba. It's like, all right. Colin.
If you like idols, if you like Team 8, if you like to laugh, if you like idols speaking English, the recent episode of Team 8's Kanto no Show, it was hilarious. They did things in English, like their catchphrases, which was awesome, and guessing some AKB songs based on their English translations, which they had to do themselves.
Oh dear.
I was laughing. Okabe Rin was awesome. Yui Huyui failed. She tried. No, she tried, and she was like, she really was trying like to do something, and it's like, yeah. I like Team 8.
Aww.
Okabe Rin was great. Oda Arena was great. Sato Shihori, she was fun. Like they really tried to do English. My favorite thing was their introduction. Basically, it went like this: Girl 1, I am 22 year. That's it. Number 2, I am 20 3, old, year. Number 3, I am old. That was a Kabirin. I was laughing my ass off. So watch that. That was just hilarious.
Very good. And finally, Derek.
Yeah. So first of all comments. We had a pretty big discussion about Sousenkyo today. A lot of interesting points made on all fronts. Want to hear yours. So our fans, that's my recommendation. Like, destroy our comment section this week. I really want to see some really good comments about that. I'm very, very, very curious to see what will come of that, and I'd like that to be a big focus for anybody who's watching the show. To tell us what you think about Sousenkyo. Are you happy it's gone? Do you think there should be something else? Do you think it should stay? What are your thoughts? All that stuff. That's a big one. Two, as I said earlier, the group I work for, Necrodome Idol, their queen, basically, Himori Tsukichiro, it's her birthday today. Please go on Twitter and wish her a happy birthday if you can. I think she'd really appreciate that. Also, Himori is like one of the nicest idols you're ever going to meet. If you ever do get a chance to meet her, you guys met her. So like, she's a big sweetheart. She very much loves her fans. She definitely understands how to make her fans feel loved. I see it over and over again. She is the master of the checky line, and for good reason, because she actually remembers everything about you. She cares about you. She's a rare idol in that sense. Like, she actually gives a crap. So I think, all the Necroma girls are pretty much like that, but she, I think, particularly really stands out. So I would say, if you are looking for an idol experience and you can come to Japan, you want to come check out Necroma, definitely go check, go to her line if you can wait, because she always has the longest, and usually we have to cut it fast because she has 40-50 people in her line at any given show. But she definitely deserves a birthday wish because she works her butt off. And I just think it would really be great if you could do that for her. All the Necroma girls are awesome. Again, I not just her, but I don't know. It's an important day. So do that, please. That would be my recommendation. Also, our next show, if I'm not mistaken, Dex, can we announce it or should we wait?
Want to do it? Yeah, go for it.
No, why don't you? Okay, DX has something he wants to announce because Robin's not going to be around, unfortunately. That sucks because I really like when it's all of us. In fact, fought very hard for us to all be here today because I really love our dynamic. But Robin has to go on vacation, and I'm really happy because he did. If anyone deserves a freaking vacation, it's this guy.
Yes.
He works his butt off. So, bon voyage to you, my friend. But I would say we are not going to stop. Okay,
Nope,
Robin's given us his blessing to do the show without him, which is again going to be really weird. Is this the first show without you?
Nope.
No.
A couple of times
Been to
happened.
Japan before.
Okay, that's my mind. Okay, but yeah.
But, yeah,
so
for the next show after this one, I'm really honored to announce we're going to have Mette Hendriksen as a guest.
yay, Matt.
Also
BNK
known
specialist.
as BNK48. So look forward to it. I would say look forward to it.
And I've met Matt. She came to Japan. She's been to an Necroma show. She's an awesome girl. She really knows BNK. So we thought, in light of the fact that the Thai fans have been so gracious and so loving to us, that this would be a nice gift back to them as well. And also because everybody wants to see Met, because everyone, I think, is very curious about her on the BNK fan side. Well, now you're going to see her because we're going to give her to you. So, and thank you, Met, in advance for that. We're so happy to have you. So we'll be doing that. So be checking on that. And I think we'll be getting back more to our original schedule. This was just an exception because I wanted to make sure Robin had a chance to weigh in on Sousenkyo. I wanted to weigh in on Sousenkyo, and I wasn't here for Osaka. So we apologize for the delay. That was entirely my fault more than anything. So I apologize. But at the same time, thank you guys, Robin, Colin, DX. Thank you so much. Really means the world to me. You know how much I love this. Normally I would be like, if I can't make it, I can't make it. But this was just too big of a topic.
Yeah.
Sousenkyo has kept us together as a community. I don't know. It's just going to be really weird. I really hope they replace it with something even better, which they could. I don't think they will, but they could.
By the way, while you're on Twitter, you can give us a follow to our new
good seg!
joint Twitter account. It's a 48 underscore talk underscore. Am I right?
Colin, you made the account.
Underscore 48 underscore talk.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, because someone else took it. It's like, thank you very much. But you can find it. You know the logo, how it is. So
It'll be in our
it.
comment.
We
It'll be in
share
our
it.
links.
Yeah, we'll sort of link over there. You can follow that. So that's the joint account of 48 Talk. So you can send the information we always sit in there, give some news or updates on our show or anything. You can just follow that on Twitter. You can also go to our Patreon. .com/48talk. I am pleased to announce, well, you guys know that I work at Apple, so we're getting there. It's coming very soon. I'm finally this baby that was here done his hard work. It's time to retire you soon to follow up and yeah, showcase then the new edition, I would say, and that will be filmed as well. But if you want to see that, you have to go then to patreon.com/48talk and
course.
join us that system.
Okay.
So look forward to that in the future. Derek, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot one more thing. We have Witching Hour this Monday. We come back. We didn't have it this week just because we were in Osaka, but we're gonna have Witching Hour. I don't know what the theme is or if we're gonna have any guests or anything. I don't think we've figured it out yet. But we will be back, so be on the lookout for that as well. I think Nogi Nick will be back with us this time. He's been recovering from his leg injuries, so I think he'll be able to make it this time. So if you like Nogi Nick, definitely come check it out. If for no other reason, just see him. He's funny. But also, we'll probably have Himari because she's kind of like our MC staple, and probably obviously another Necroma member, and maybe somebody else. I don't know, but just check that out. That'll be our usual time, which is 12 noon Japan Standard Time on Monday. So there's that too.
Cool. All right then. With that though, thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Not me though. Bye bye.
Yo.
Bye. Change, my dear, and it's. That's a quote.